Here knight b4 takes, bishop e4, king b3, bishop d5, c4 takes, queen a6, king c3, rook c8, king d2, rook c2, takes, check.
This video is about the amazing calculation and technique by Hikaru. The position on the right side on the green board, black to play and win. This looks like a simple position, is very deceiving. It's extremely hard to find a solution and the main line could be as long as 14 moves. Let's hear from Hikaru himself. How does he crack such a complex puzzle? Let's listen to him carefully.
Yes, I figured it out. Okay, you guys, I figured it out. So g2 takes, check, king h4 takes, a7, queen, check, king g5.
I need to bring it a little bit slower before we continue the video. So what did Hikaru do? G2, take, check, while the king could come here, is checking king h4. After king h4, f take g2, a7, queen. So we have a new queen promoted on his side. So g2, knight f4, taking with the point the only way to win, a7, queen. And now you only have queen and knight, again, the queen here. So he's looking at queen h2. And then where does the king go, right? He's doing king g5, queen h5, king f6 is continuing. So remember, he's right in the beginning of the puzzle here. He's already looking at where you have the queen on the board, which is over here, and he's looking at this position in his head, right? So I'm gonna keep the position here already, let's say 5 moves in, and let's listen to Hikaru until the very end.
Check, king f6, check. King e6, knight c7 forks them both. So you have to go king g7, then queen g5. If you go to f7 or f8, I always have check here, check and mate. So you can't go that way. H7 loses to knight f6. So you have to go to h8, and then I go queen f6, king h7, queen f7. If king h6, I go knight f4, and you can't check on a7 because I take, and then I'm covering both squares, and I think it's just winning. I think it's winning. Unless I'm crazy. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. I think that's what it is. More arrows? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
All right. Are you ready? Let's do the second part of the variation now. So, king g5, queen h5, king f6, knight d5. And now, if the king were to go to this square, check with the fork here. So when I am on 95, the king has to go to g7. The queen come to g5 here, give a check, the king is here. The king has to come here. If the king were to come on f7, of course you have queen g5, f6 check, the king comes here, and then the knight on d5 can come give a check over here. So then the king ends up, if you follow the video, to h8. On the h8 here, then the queen gives a check from f6, the king moves here, queen f7, and then the knight comes to f6 or f4. And the last thing that Hikaru says is that the queen controls h2. The queen cannot give a check here. Now, I've done as many arrows as Hikaru, so let's go slowly. King g5, check. King here, check. If the king were to come here, that's not good. There's a check here. So the king come here, check. Now, the only way is here. Let's say if the king come to f7, we do check. The king cannot come here because we have checkmate here, and here knight here, and you're gonna checkmate. For instance, over here, and you can checkmate by the queen over here, and if the king comes there, you can checkmate with the knight. So clearly, very quickly, we can see that the king has to end up in a corner. Now check, check. You have two different squares. On h8, knight f6. And remember, what is the only check for black? For white, sorry. It's to give a check here, but black controlled the squares. So then Hikaru is coming here and saying, why do I look over here? We are move 14 in these crazy variations. And you have knight f4 is looking at, but knight f6 is actually winning. You do knight f6 here, and the king here does not survive. So you have many variations, but I could do queen c6 to show you. You do a check, and the king doesn't have enough squares. You do a check here. Only way is to take, and you do a skewer, and you move 17 in this variation, and you win. So again, I'm gonna show you the entire variation. That was absolutely crazy calculation and shows visualization, right? This is the first position, and Hikaru continues. Here he sees the base move, 95. He sees that the king goes into the corner. He continues, give a check, and now knight f6, and he stops right here, or knight f4, and then you win. But knight f6 is the best move, and after that you can stop the variation, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I think there was absolutely crazy variations. Try to explain with the arrows, and I show you Grandmaster level to visualize in your head a position from the beginning on the left all the way to this final position, more than 12 moves deep into the puzzle. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.